All right, let's get into Trump and Zelensky and the part 2 unfolding upon America a little bit, because the dreams and visions and the things that I've told you about on here and everything is I've pretty much given a part-time job to this, showing y'all and trying to explain to y'all everything that's been coming and going and whatever, and I can only get out like half of it or whatever. So now that we're here in this so-called, we're at this time frame where this code and key could be unlocked, and it ties to what I call the Star Wars, and that's like a main factor because of 48 on the King Spirit being dead. Takes us back to that time frame, and we're at that from the 24th to the 48 when that sun's going down, and this is where you have this dark sun here and this dark sun here and those types of things, and that's where you have Elon Musk and Zelensky, and then before we had Hunter Biden. And anyways, we had these different things going on as the spiritual into the carnal were happening in the millennial time frame since the year 2000, and these are things to shake the eyes and ears, to wake up the people, and different things like that. Either way, y'all, so I'm just this dude living my life, and I understand that I have prayed for these things and asked for these things that I've been given since my teenage years, and I have spent 80% of my days or more asking and thinking about these things, and the stuff like on Genesis that I shared with y'all that took like a year of revealing backwards and such. This was all given to me through the Spirit because I prayed on it in the garden for like 2.5 years, like all the time, just dwelling on Genesis and the creation and what the secret is and all this stuff, and just staring up at the sun and whatever kinds of stuff. Just anyways, so where we're at now, and in 2020, the 2020 vision I call it, and being taken into the high place and being shown what was coming, and that's the only reason I've been able to kind of do what I'm able to do, is because I was shown this end piece, and I've been able to backtrack it this whole time, along with the things, I guess, that the veils or seals or whatever that keep this world confined or whatever. Well, there was a time frame, and after the 2020 visions, that the 3 nights of dreams and all that stuff, that these things started to open up, and that's when I began to learn this one type of system that I shared with you on the other video, where you tune in, and then you go left, right, diagonal, whatever, or have a center point and work out in a burst, or work around the whole thing, or whatever kind of thing, or you read backwards to forward. Either way, so it's taking from the things that we're told about over here or over there or whatever, and extracting and putting it together. Okay, and then with these time frames, things in the ear were changed, where I hear things if I'm tuned in, I hear things differently or whatever kind of thing. And this can go to the movies, to the radio, to conversations in the salon, to whatever, okay? But if I know their name and number and those types of things, I can tune in more, whatever. Or the more I know about that person and the web behind it, like the family or whatever, I can tune in that proper way or whatever. And then it's either way. So I'm just this dude living my life, and I'm kind of propelled into this or whatever. And I can see it's God, the light, working through men to go from one time frame to another time frame, and I can understand which things here could be causing this thing here to do this thing here, or just these different layers or whatever, right? But that's just here now, but looking back, none of this stuff even existed now. So that's when I'm there sitting in youth group at 14, 15 years old and such, and I'm just sitting there rocking back and forth, praying and all the things that you do in the youth groups or whatever. But and our youth group is tied to Shepherd Ministries. We were like the first, like the huge youth groups with 200 people, 300 kids, whatever. All the three schools from Irving came to our youth group and whatever kind of thing. But and our youth group had its own house next to the church and whatever else. But it was like the forefathers of that, like foundation of what we think of as like youth groups now, or what, I don't even know what the youth groups are now. But either way, kids love coming there on Wednesday night. And this church was being tied to Shepherd Ministries, was tied to Dawson McAllister, and Dawson McAllister even came and spoke at our youth group and whatever, and we had big Christian bands there, and I got Dixie Chicks signature back then, and I still got that. But just so you like the level of church this kind of was. But either way, Dawson McAllister was involved in the end times and whatever, so that got the end time stuff set in my heart, and that seed grew early and fast and all these other things. And it was at the 90s when the internet and the millennium and all those things were overlapping, and the Desert Storm, and they put Channel 1 in our school rooms, and we had Anderson Cooper there when he was like 19 years old or whatever, back when he was straight. But he was up there in the corner. Anyways, that was like and that was one propaganda that we had in our school system there. So I know other school systems that I've talked to, they didn't get the Channel 1 and the TV or whatever kind of thing, right? So, and then they also gave us Voyage of the Mimi that has Ben Affleck in it or whatever. It taught you how to survive on an island or whatever thing. So I'm just minding my own business, kind of living my life. Corona Crown comes out. Look at my wife. This is it. This is the time frame I've been waiting for my whole life, dude. That and the combination of the trumpets. As soon as given the dreams and shown these things, and then early on, Listen to the George Michael documentary and the Charlie's Angels, not Charlie's Angel, Hell's Angel, Mongols. I listened to a couple other documentaries, but those ones stick out, and those kind of told me about some of the things we were looking for and whatever else. So then we saw the Russian invasion and Ukraine and all these things that matched whatever I saw over there, and then all that's coming is here, and the spiritual and the carnal, and we're all there. And they're telling you now, so it's just like so on one spectrum, I know who I am in the past, I connect to. And in the television and the movies and such, I can see who I can kind of clearly connect to. And then obviously in the House of Mirrors, and as the Matrix breaks off and different things, this is where it gets kind of creeped out or whatever kind of thing. But with the television, or with the dreams and visions and the codes and all these things or whatever going off and everything showing or whatever, I might be slowing down some of the posts or whatever, and put like the main ones or whatever, or do more concentrated where it's 10 images instead of just one or whatever. Either way, it's been pretty much a part-time job, figuring this stuff out, sharing it, and it's pretty much reading from sun up to sundown in most cases, and I need a break a little bit, so but we'll see. We'll play it by ear.